Yeah.
Nothing but.
Yeah.
I'll be happy either way.
Good with that. Start back here, John Hoover.
Yeah, Jeff, back at it this week. Two teams coming off an open day. What do you think about Iowa State's defense? They rank at the top of the conference and everything.
Yeah, they've played really, really well. Really defensively have given them a chance to win every single game they've played. So just a ton of respect for how they play, the way they play, how well they're coached, and be a great challenge for us on the road this weekend.
So basically do a lot of rush 3 drop 8. What is it that they do unique that other teams that try that scheme don't do?
Yeah, I think that there's just a ton of belief in the system. It's really been invented there, and those guys have done a great job continuing to find ways to get better at it inside the building. Again, there's great belief, there's great energy about how they play and the way they play, and I think that's what jumps off the tape as much as anything.
Right here, Jesse. Hey, Jeff, you mentioned after the game against Kansas that it was good to get Marvin so involved, the 9-catch performance. Just how big was that performance from him, and what do you need from him during this last stretch of the season?
Yeah, it was important. I think everybody's very aware of how important Marv is to us offensively in creating chunk plays and some situational stuff that has given us an advantage when he's gotten it. So we'll continue to trend that way. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody, but was happy for him. Again, he's been the same guy every single day, so I was glad he was able to go out and have some success on Saturday.
Dylan has really spread the ball around to a bunch of receivers, but really targeted Marvin on against Kansas. Just what have you seen between the two of them as far as developing chemistry this year?
Yeah, I think with every day, every week, there's just an understanding between the two that it's been good to see. It's been fun to watch, and those guys are on the same page. There's great energy between Dylan and the receiving group, and especially Marv. So it's been good to see.
Jeff, how big of a week was last week for someone like DJ Graham making that move, and what have you seen from him that makes you think he could have an impact on this side of the ball?
Yeah, I think it was a big week for everybody, just from the standpoint of getting fresh, having a week to be able to get a jump on these guys going into Ames on Saturday, and not just for DJ, but for the entire unit, for the entire football team. Just again creating some fresh legs and getting these guys a little bit of rest while still having a great week of work and getting a good jump. So it was good for everybody.
Thanks.
Hey, Jeff, could you get into a little bit what you concentrated on last week with the off week, and also a guy like Dylan who's so experienced? What does he do during an off week? Because I know he probably continues to drive and grind.
Yeah, again, it was all about refreshing and our guys getting the opportunity to still have a great week of work, but understanding that there wasn't an immediate opponent, but it was so much more about us just getting better every single day. And our guys did a great job of that. Again, I think we got a great jump on what we've got going this weekend, and Dylan had a really good week. Again, from an arm care standpoint, a body standpoint, body, mind, and spirit. I think all those guys did a great job of taking advantage of the time that we did have, and now are getting ready to roll.
Jeff, you guys had a lot of success on third down against Kansas. I want to ask you just about the concerted effort to really win that down. You guys were struggling a little bit going into that game.
Yeah, I think it was all about pitching and catching, throwing and catching, guys making plays on the perimeter. We had a couple of guys make some incredible competitive plays, which was great to see. We're going to continue to need that moving forward. We had a really good day on third down. We're going to need that on Saturday as well.
When you look at going back at the film, the 3rd and goal, 4th and goal, we're going to get a chance to look at it on film. What were your thoughts on that? What could have you guys done to improve?
Yeah, I could have done something different. Been in maybe a little more spread formation down there on the third down, the second snap to be able to help us, and that was 100% on me. Wanted to turn and hand the ball to Javonte and give him another opportunity to go score, and that's what we were going to live with. But at the end of the day, really should have been a little different from a formation standpoint, put a little more air in the defense.
Yeah, Jeff, you talked about getting a jump on this week's game last week with the bye week. I imagine also get some of those young players some work in there. How do you feel about the way that the freshman receivers and tight ends have come along, specifically Jaden Gibson? Where do you feel like his progress stands right now?
Yeah, young guys did have a really good week. They got a bunch of work. Proud of how Jay Gibb has worked and tried to put himself in a position to help us on Saturdays. Hadn't had a ton of opportunities to do it, but again, he's done a good job of being mindful and understanding that his time will come as long as he continues to put in the work and being the same guy every single day. So, just proud of his take on it and how he's attacked it.
Do you feel like overall that some of those guys have a chance to see their roles grow here late in the season?
It all kind of depends on the flow of the game. Obviously, staying healthy is a huge deal as we move forward. Those guys are going to get some opportunities and got to make the most of it when they do, and they will. Yeah.
With DJ, when the position changed, what sort of precipitated that? And with 5 games left, what's realistic for him and what he could do in his new role?
Yeah, I'll leave that to Coach V. He was obviously DJ on the defensive side of the ball. Those conversations weren't necessarily had with me, but DJ's a great kid, and now we'll create some reps and some work for him as we move forward.
I asked you, I think 2 weeks ago, about Braden Willis as an offensive weapon. He's also seemingly taken on this role as part of the backbone of this team and has a lot of respect from his teammates. Where did you first see that with him when you showed up here?
It was early on. It really was. Again, there was great conversation with B. Will, myself, and his family, Coach Wager. As far as him coming back, he ultimately made that decision because he felt like it would be best for him. He put great trust in us, and so incredibly appreciative for that, and it's paying off for him. Again, any opportunity I get to brag on B. Will, I'm going to. He is Oklahoma football. It's who the kid is to the core, and it's what we want to be about. And so just proud of him and his consistency, and look forward to him playing his butt off Saturday.
Second row, Ryan Chapman. Against Kansas, did you get a sense with Dylan coming back in that the offense almost just kind of like settled in and let the game come to them as opposed to maybe press them to make some of those plays?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought complemented each other really well. Had pretty good balance, throughout the day, which was critical. Cannot have the issues with the ball being on the ground and the one interception. I thought that's what created the game to be maybe a little closer than it needed to be. Credit to Kansas as well for playing the way they did. But we got to take care of the ball better. But I thought our guys played their butt off and really tried to strain.
Is that something that with the success that you had outside of the turnovers that can settle the guys for this home stretch here as you kind of run in?
I think so. And again, I think if you look at it when number 8's caught the snap, offensively we haven't been near perfect, but we've been pretty good. So we're going to continue that trend Saturday.
Jeff, what was the biggest thing you were pleased with in terms of the O-line's performance against Kansas, and what are you looking for them to do coming out of the bye week against Iowa State?
Yeah, I got to continue to keep Dylan clean, keep him upright. Had the one sack where we had the one breakdown, but again, played pretty well up front. I think we've gotten better every single week. Need to continue that trend. That's what we're looking for. That's everybody in the entire building. Offensively, we got to get better every single day, every single week to give us a chance to go finish the way we want to finish.
Back here, Coach. Curious, it's nice that Dylan's back, obviously, but since he's been back, has the backup quarterback position, has that been looked at the same, or is it still Davis back there? Or I guess I'm asking, has there been more of an open competition since Dylan's come back?
All those guys have gotten reps. Davis has still gotten reps and continued to get better, but all 3 of those guys have gotten a little more work.
Since it went the way it went when Dylan wasn't playing, did that give you a little bit more, I guess, focus on that position now moving forward in case, Dylan does have to miss some time again?
Yeah, I think the open date as well, just creating some reps for some guys and being able to free up from a time standpoint, being able to get some guys work was needed and was good.
Any more questions? Anybody stand out to you defensively for Iowa State? They've obviously got an All-American and Will McDonald.
Yeah, Will's done a really good job. He doesn't stay blocked. He plays with great effort. And again, they've got pieces at every part of the defense that are playing really good football, and I think that's why you see them top 10 in so many stats. They've got some guys that have honestly are playing above their head, and it's because of buy-in, it's because of effort, and they've done a great job.
Is there a fundamentalism about there? That's probably a stupid word. A fundamental kind of approach to what they do defensively, where you don't see a lot of mistakes, you don't see a lot of busts, you don't see a lot of missed tackles.
Yeah, I think part of it's those guys been doing it for a long time, and been in the same building, hearing the same thing, hearing the same coaching points. So again, they've been able to add to the system and have taken advantage of that. And they've got incredible buy-in in the room. They got a staff that's been there for a long time that's done a great job, and a ton of respect for them.
Jeff, looking back at Eric Gray's game too, when you look at film, just what he was able to do against Kansas. Talk a little bit about Eric.
Yeah, I think as much as any time this year, he won at the second and third level. He was able to win his one-on-ones. Thought big boys in perimeter did a really good job getting him into space, and then Eric did a great job of winning his matchups, which was great to see.
I asked you a little while ago about going forward, third down, fourth down. What's that conversation with you and Brent like during those moments, spur of the moment, deciding to go for it, fourth down? What do you guys talk to each other about?
Right, Coach V's just simply saying, hey, you get it to this D&D, then you're going to have an opportunity to go for it, and then ultimately he'll make that decision whether we're doing it or not. But that's how the conversation flows throughout the game.
Jeff, talk about the offense as a whole as you get ready to go in this 5-game stretch here. You've been, the only time it's really not moved is when you didn't have Dylan, but now Dylan's back. What's your expectations going forward?
Yeah, our expectation is to be better Saturday than we were the previous Saturday that we were on the field. And again, for us, man, it is all about getting better. Every single day, every single week, when we go out there Saturday morning at 11, we need to put together the best 60 minutes we've had all year. And that's the expectation for us. That's the mindset in the building.
Thank you, Coach.